Giada, I'm so excited to chat with you. I have been watching you since I was a little girl on my television. I'm sure you get told that all the time, but you continue to rediscover food and rediscover ways to share it with us. So tell us about this new adventure.
Well, I mean, this adventure is sort of a fun transition from being just in the kitchen cooking to kind of being out and about and more lifestyle and also giving back, right, to someone who loves to cook as much as I do. And so to me, it's a fun, very easy transition from one to the other.
Yeah, no, and food is so much more than just food, right? It's our culture, it's how we connect, it's how we show love, it's all these other things. So I think you've always done a good job of incorporating that, even in the shows where you're just cooking us something. So is that something you feel like you've always been drawn to?
I mean, I've always been interested in design, and I did redo my house, and so I felt like they kind of go hand in hand. And after all of these years of spending time in these kitchens, I feel like I understand the flow and the
Mhm.
functionality of what a kitchen should be. And I think it's working with the designer to figure out, okay, but what colors should we do and what materials and how do we get the flow I'm looking for and what walls do we cover, what can we tear down and all of that kind of stuff. So I think it takes a village of people who have a lot of knowledge, but at the end of the day, giving that gift with all of the tips and tricks that I've learned over the years, I think is really, really fun. And to me, it's the perfect segue from one to the other, and then
Yeah.
being able to break that kitchen in and cook the first meal with the homeowner is just hello, but like I love doing stuff like that. So I feel like it's the perfect transition and it was so much fun. And it sort of uses a part of my brain that is an extension of what I currently, what I do all the time.
Yeah. And I feel like too, when you're in a kitchen or a space that feels like more like you're more inspired maybe. So having a new space that inspires you to do different things in the kitchen, that's got to be really life changing sometimes.
Yeah, and I think for the family that we spotlighted in this episode specifically, he one of the things they complained about was the kitchen was so small that he had to spend his time alone in the kitchen. And so his wife and kids were never part of it, right? And he really wanted to include his children because that's how he learned to cook from his grandma who included him. And there just wasn't any room and it was a little dangerous just because there wasn't. I mean, pots and pans could fall, knives, whatever. These kids are little. So I think giving him the space to kind of create memories together in that kitchen, I think was what he really wanted and wasn't able to do. And that's what we were able to do for him. And I think that is just, super special.
Yeah, and you're giving him the opportunity to create new memories. Do you have a memory growing up in the kitchen with mom, grandma, grandpa, like you know what I mean, that really shaped you and it was more than just making the food. It was being in there in the moment and having that memory.
Well, I think for me, the first time I remember cooking, I was young. I was probably like 5. My grandfather used to make dough on the weekends, pizza dough, and then he'd sit us all up, all us grandkids, and he'd give us a bunch of ingredients, and we would all try to roll out our own pizzas and top it. And I just remember the fun of doing that, the ability to nibble and taste things as you were creating them. To me, that was like the beginning of a long road of inspiration of really finding myself, finding my voice, finding my power in the ability to spend time in the kitchen. So I think those are the kind of memories that I hope Michael and Whitney can give their children through their new kitchen.
Okay, like I said in the beginning, you have been on our TVs for a long, long time, and you still, it's hard to have a career in this industry, but let alone to have a career that spans generations. I remember coming home from school as a young girl to watch your show. How do you keep it fresh? How do you keep trying new things, whether it's food or other things that are food adjacent? How do you keep going?
That is a great question. I think for me, I opportunities have come and I felt like I never planned this life or this career. I love cooking. I love my culture. I love to travel. And I think inspiration comes from living every day. It really does. From meeting new people, from eating out, from travel, from my daughter, from my friends, from people like you. I think it comes from a lot of different places. And, I think for me, it's what gets me up in the morning. It's what makes me happy. And so evolving is just something that I think if you're always open to new experiences, you will evolve. I think that's the key, is just to be open. I've never learned enough. I'm never going to be perfect in the knowledge that I have. I'm never a good enough cook. I'm always learning and I'm always open to new experiences. And I think that's what kind of keeps us going.
Well, I love watching you. Anytime you're on my screen, I enjoy it. So it was like you and Paula Dean. I would rush home to watch y'all, and you were both so different, but I enjoyed you both so much, and yeah, there was a warmth to you. So I love that, and I'll watch anything you do. So
Well, thank you. Thanks so much. I appreciate it. It's so fun.